What's up and welcome back to Interpreting Stars, where today we're bringing it back to the world of Star Trek with the final film for now. It's Star Trek Beyond. Truth be told, this is the only Star Trek movie I've never reviewed before. Yeah, actually, not in writing, not in video format, and this is the third time I've seen it. That's not to say that the film is bad, not at all. I actually quite like it. But I don't know, I just never got around to reviewing it for whatever reason, so this should be interesting. Also, keep an eye out for my ranking video. I'll also be posting that on my channel, covering which individual Star Trek film is the best. So don't miss out on that. But time for a Cinephorus celebration as we end this marathon today. Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, Cinephorus, producing a lot of sound. Star Trek Beyond finds Kirk and crew in the middle of their 5-year mission when they get separated and stranded on an alien planet after the Enterprise is destroyed. They must find each other before they even hope to defeat their enemy, but this deep in space without a ship, how will they ever get home again? I've seen people both really love this movie and heavily criticize it. One thing that you can notice right away is that the director is no longer J.J. Abrams. While it still has that explosive feel that the other movies have had, the direction it takes is somewhat akin to how the older films or even the TV show would operate. You'll notice it in the costume design for the aliens and quite a bit of the production design and set design when it comes down to the planet. They spent a lot of time outside of the Enterprise for obvious reasons, and when they did that, they were able to really showcase character development and chemistry. When they're forced to separate, everybody was teamed up with somebody else, and all of these mini dynamics in the movie were really great to see, especially with Bones and Spock. What I liked even more than that was the fact that when the group finally finds each other, these dynamics didn't just disappear like any other movie would do. They continue on. You could always see Bones and Spock interacting from beginning to end. Same with Kirk and Chekhov, Uhura and Sulu, Scotty and Jaylah. That's another couple of things. Scotty had the most screen time in this movie, and he was great. Jaylah is a brand new character, and she was incredibly unique and instantly memorable. There really is a lot to love about this movie. It feels rather unique and original. I also really liked the villain. I found him to be pretty mysterious on his own, but I especially found his weapon of choice and space fleet to be fascinating. I don't want to divulge too much about that because that's where a majority of the mystery comes from. Other than that, there's not much to say. The visuals were just as good as they've always been for this entire trilogy. The cinematography of everything is still pretty great. I think the film's biggest problem was its trailer. I specifically remember the trailer to this movie being incredibly lackluster. It was flashy-dashy, but nothing about it lured me in to see the movie. I knew I was going to see it anyway, but if this was the first Star Trek reboot movie, I don't know, I might have skipped out on it. I feel like this was something a lot of people could agree with. Without great marketing, your film is going to get lost under the radar, and I feel like that's what happened with this movie. The only other negative that I have to say about this movie is just like Into Darkness, this movie is still just a sequel. And those bold steps that the first movie took into doing something utterly different is now, kind of a distant memory. That being said, I felt as if this movie was a bit more original and fun than Into Darkness was, so there is that. Let's talk about my final score for a second. From an unbiased technical perspective, I feel like this movie is just as good as Into Darkness for basically all the same reasons. It was only a few years apart, so there wasn't any kind of significant improvement anywhere. I prefer the focus of production design in this movie over Into Darkness, but that's not really any kind of complaint. So the film has the same unbiased score as Into Darkness at 88%, but my personal bias score is quite a bit higher at 94% because this is just a fun movie overall. Nothing perfect, but it surprisingly turned out to be one of my favorite Star Trek films overall. Averaging out the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 91%, 91 out of 100 possible stars, or an A- letter grade. Not too shabby. It definitely got a higher score than what I gave it before, which was an unofficial guess of about 8.0 out of 10. Remember, I didn't review it, so I didn't score it either. Let me know your thoughts on the film in the comments down below. Are you a fan of Star Trek Beyond like I am, or do you think it's one of the more forgettable films in the entire series? Let me know and make sure that you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this review, because there are always more like it coming out each and every single day. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified when I come out with my Star Trek ranking video. And until then, guys, peace out!
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.